right? Because my turn is next week. So since she's not here. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm gonna go get my PowerPoint, but it's on. Oh, yeah, it's on. I'm gonna get my PowerPoint. One minute. Right. Yeah. Tú tienes ya.
I'm not. I didn't realize that it was this cold because I
Yeah.
just came out the house going crazy because I was like,
It's in the 50s. ¿Cómo estuvo aquí ayer?
it was good.
Yeah.
It was busy though. Really busy.
Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning.
Hey, what
We're
are you guys
working on
waiting
it.
on? Huh?
It's saying it's no signal on her. You knew this was going to happen.
On her PowerPoint?
When we're trying to pull up the computer, yeah. on the
Okay,
PowerPoint.
Caroline can do it from her office, or you have it too. We can do it from this laptop if you can't do it. Okay. Is Caroline on?
Yeah, I'm on the phone with her.
Yeah, Susan, I'm getting my laptop pulled up.
Okay. Hey, have y'all done roll call?
Hey, Susan, my laptop just crashed. I don't know what's going on with it.
Open yours up. Okay. Shelley, have you done roll call?
I have not. Would you like me to start with that?
Yes, if you could go ahead and do roll call, and Julie's going to get it pulled up on this laptop in here.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Region 1, Villarica.
Here.
Talk to us for a minute. Let us see your face.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There you are. Hello, Paulita.
Hi.
Carrollton.
Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
For Greenville.
What's the password in there?
I do wig.
Is anyone from Greenville there?
Why does it look like it went off?
I know.
You got your phone. Call Chris.
For Upson.
Greenville is here. I'm sorry, Greenville is here.
Okay, and Upson.
Upson's here.
Coweta.
What's up with none of the laptops? Nothing's working today?
We're here. Fayette. Anyone from Fayette?
Shelley, they were having connection issues, so I don't know if they've been connected yet.
Okay. So then Region 3, Henry?
Here.
And Butts?
Here.
Okay. So is someone going to help me out with the presentation then? Since we can't get it.
Shelley, we're trying. Actually, ours in our office is not pulling up either. This is crazy.
Shelley.
It's my luck.
Shelley.
Uh-huh.
I really love you. Forget all about me, I see.
Hey, Shelley, does everybody have the printed out PowerPoint? She could just go ahead and start using your copy until we can get somebody's laptop pulled up.
Okay.
We got Chris coming over.
Okay. So we'll be going over the verification of residency form and just the central registry and the WIC 1 through 4 screens. Let's see. Can I get someone in Region 1 to read the WIC mission statement for us, please?
To safeguard the health of low-income women, infants, and children up to age 5 who are at a nutrition risk by providing nutritious foods to supplement diets, information on healthy eating, and referrals to health care.
Okay, so we go on to the first slide on the verification of residency form. So just kind of a little reminder, you use this form when a client doesn't have any proof presented with their name on it, and they bring you proof under someone else's name. This is the form that you would use for that. Remember, you have to have both the form and the actual proof. Another thing with this form is if it's a minor under the age of 18, you actually don't have to use the form. On the second slide, at the time that you actually give out the form during the certification, you want to make sure that you fill out the first 4 fields under the clinic section, which are the date the form should be returned, and that's just 30 days from the current date that the client is here. You want to make sure and you address stamp that. You want to write your name, and you want to date it for the current date that you're doing the certification. On the next slide, at the time that the form is received by the clerk, you want to make sure that you write your name on it and put the current date on it. Now, if you, for some reason, receive a blank form, you know, like how sometimes you're busy and you have a client just walk up and ask you for a form and you give them a blank one. So if you end up getting a blank form, you want to make sure and fill out all of the fields. So all the date, for the 3 dates, you would just put the current date, you would write your name on there twice, and you would make sure that you stamp your address stamp on it. So the next slide, I made up a scenario. And can I have someone from Region 3 read the scenario and answer for me, please? And that's Henry and Butts. Can someone volunteer, please?
This is Bucks. You wouldn't need the verification of residency form because she's under 18. You just have to have the proof of address from her parents.
That's right. That's right. And then I have on the next slide, I have a scenario 2. Can I get someone in Coweta to read it out and answer, please?
Okay, so I don't know a scenario.
Okay. You have something come to your clinic to, I don't know, I can't really read it.
Shelley, it might be easier if you read it and then we answer because it's hard to read on the printed slides.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so scenario 2 says you have a mom come to your clinic to recertify for a mom and baby appointment. The mom and baby are not currently on Medicaid. The mom is 29 and claims she has no mail with her name. She states she lives with a friend. What would you ask her to bring in for proof of address, and would you need a verification of residency form?
You would.
Can everybody see the PowerPoint now?
We see it now, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you would need one, and you'd ask her to have her friend fill out the form and give us the bill or such. I'm nervous, so I'm not answering very good.
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yes, we would need one. We'd have her friend fill out the form.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we can go on to the next one. Okay, so we move on to the first screen on the central registry.
Shelley,
yes.
Shelley, this is Cynthia. I have a question about
Yes,
the
ma'am.
verification form.
Okay.
So that we're clear about it, when we do receive the verification form back, just know that it do not go in the no proof form. It goes in the health record only.
Right. Yeah. No, wait a minute. The verification form, my understanding is you have to scan it along with your proof.
You scan it, but it don't go in the no proof form, notebook, or wherever you keep it.
No, because it's not a no proof form.
Right. There was a time when a lot of us was confused about that.
Okay.
Because that was considered no proof, and we were using somebody else's proof as residence, we were putting it along with the no proof information. So it doesn't go in the no proof.
Yeah, you wouldn't file it in the no proof file. Just make sure that you scan it along with your proof. So you should have two continuous scans for that one proof. Okay, so the first, thank you, Cynthia, for that first screen on the central registry. You want to go ahead and verify the last name, first name. If the person has a middle name, please go ahead and verify that as well. Oh, that's blurry. Okay, I'm sorry. So then you go down to the proof of address. You want to make sure that you have your demographics on there. On the demographics, even if you have a child, on the years of education, just put a 0 in there. Don't leave it blank. On the phone number, I'm sorry, if it's, a lot of times they don't have a home phone number, they just have a cell phone. So you want to make sure that you key that in there twice. The first, once as a home number, the second as a cell phone number. So just make sure that it's in there twice. On the back where it says county, where you have city, state, zip code, census, that county is not the actually county where the client lives, but the county where they receive WIC. Now, another thing that we need to ask is for the email. If they do not have an email, don't leave it blank. You can just type in declined. Going back to the demographics, on the language, if you have a client that does not speak English, make sure that you select the language that they speak. And if that's the only language that they speak besides, not speaking English, you would put no on limited. You would put yes on limited English proficiency and yes on interpreter. I think not all of us are doing that, so that would be a good thing for us to start filling out. So I think that's it on that screen. Does anyone have any questions? So we go on to the second screen. It's just the basic stuff, emergency contact, the mailing address, and the relative information. So on the emergency contact, you want to ideally have someone other than the parent. That's just because if the parent's here and something happens to the parent, you're obviously not going to contact them. So try to get someone else besides the parent. We don't need an address for it just because we won't be mailing them anything. So you just want to make sure that you have their name and a good contact number. The mailing address. Now, if they have an address different from where they actually live and this is where they want their mail sent to, this is where you have to key it in. And then for the relative information, for a child, you would only list the mother, the father, or the legal guardian on that field. If they have a mom and a dad that you're going to list on there, you want to make sure, however, that you list the mother first and the father second. And that's just because that first field right there, the first line, is what actually carries over to the WIC 1 through 4 screens. And for an adult, that field on the relative information should be blank. Any questions? Oh. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm going to read the scenario and then I'll just have someone answer it for me. So it says the mom's physical address is 1111 Griffin Street, but she wants her mail sent to her grandmother's address at 2222 Noonan Street. Where would you add the 2222 Noonan Street address? Can someone in Region 1 answer that for me, please?
Mailing address.
I'm sorry, it sounded really blurry.
You would put it in the mailing address.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we can go to the next screen. So the third page on the central registry, the responsible party does not have to be filled out, and that's just because WIC doesn't do any billing. On the Medicaid, you want to make sure that you're verifying your Medicaid from the first day of the month to the last day of the month. And then you would, of course, verify your income. Once you've completed all these screens, now we can go on to the week 1 through 4 screens. We can go on to the next slide. Okay, just some simple things that I want to highlight on this screen is on the foster care. This is, you would only put yes if the child is currently in foster care. On the caregiver section, if it's a child, only the mother's name would go on there. And if it's an adult, that section there, that field has to be blank. And on the Medicaid, I just went ahead and kind of typed it in just so that everyone could see how it should look when someone does a research. You got to have your eligibility date as the first of the month, and then the date presented being the day that the client is actually here for the recertification. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay, so we go on to the next one. And this is just another example. This is how it would look on the Medicaid section of the week 1 through 4 screens if you're doing a half cert or a mid cert. Okay. Does anyone have any questions at all?
Hey, I have a question about the half cert and mid cert Medicaid section.
Yeah.
When I trained with Casey on Central Registry, she said that on the last page of the Central Registry where like the verification of income and stuff are, that we didn't have to do anything there. Like, because we're not, since it's a half and a mid, we don't have to verify their income again.
Right.
But on mine, I guess, I don't know if it's just on mine, but she taught me that on weeks 1 through 4, when we're doing the Medicaid and the TANF, we put a U there because we're not verifying it. And so when I put a U there, it doesn't auto-populate the Medicaid number.
Can you go back to that Medicaid section on the half cert or the mid cert if you don't mind? Okay. What I actually created here for the slides, I had actually talked to Casey about it and just kind of verified before I put it out there because I don't want to put something out there that I feel like could possibly be wrong. So this is what she said was actually the correct form of doing it. So if you're doing a half cert or a mid cert and the client already has Medicaid, it's going to automatically fill in that number for you. So all you have to really do is just put a Y and then a no for peach care and then your date presented because you're really not checking the Medicaid.
Okay. So you just don't have to put in an eligibility date since you're not verifying it.
Right. Just don't fill in the eligibility date, just your date presented.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have one. As far as the proxies go with moms and dads, I know dad can always come in and pick up for babies without, they can do stuff for their children. So where do we put them at? Do we put them in one of the proxy sections? Or do they go with mom and dad, or are they just not listed? And how are we supposed to do that?
Okay.
How do we know?
Actually, okay, I do want to let you know this is something that Casey told me, and I found like it was a little bit different. But so when you go on the second screen on the central registry where it asks you for the caregiver section, you have your first one, and then you have your second one. That's where you would actually list the father. Are you talking about the week 1 through 4 screens? Okay, she said you wouldn't list them on there. Any other questions? Okay. Can we go on to the last slide then? Okay. So this is a good to great quote, and it's greatness is not a function of circumstance. Greatness, it turns out, is largely a matter of conscious choice and discipline. So if no one has any questions, then I guess we're done. Unless anyone wants to add anything, any of the managers maybe? Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shelley.